Now lift it up.
Like that?
Yeah.
All right, like this?
Sure.
I mean, it's really heavy. You want me to do this part?
Yeah, try it.
All right, so what do I got to do?
Just, hey guys.
Hey guys, it's...
I'm just gonna do this part. What is going on, guys? Bob here, back with Teresa, bringing you a new series of videos that we're calling In the Kitchen. Now, as many of you know, as passionate as I am about my fitness and my training, I didn't really start seeing results in the gym until I started tracking macros and understanding calories. Being that, like many of you, we work full-time jobs. Teresa has 2 boys and travels sports, so trying to find time to not only cook meals that taste good and are macro and calorie friendly for me, really things that fit our daily lives that are super quick and easy to prep and make. So today we're bringing you a video of a lightly breaded pork chop. It's absolutely one of my favorites that Teresa makes. It's literally taken my food prep from like a 2 to like a 9.3.
Wait, what? It's not a 10?
It's a 10.
Thank you.
It's a 10. Mm-hmm. That, again, is super easy to prep, probably 10 to 15 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into this right now. Let's do it. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna get a pot of water ready to go on the stove.
The pot I use, I fill probably about a little more than halfway to boil the potatoes. You want to burn it on an ultra burner at high heat. And then you're going to peel your potatoes. For this one, we're using 6 potatoes to feed 5 people.
Now these are russet potatoes. You can do instant potatoes if you want to, or you don't even have to use potatoes at all. But once the potatoes are peeled,
then you'll go ahead and you'll want to chop them up in half, and then again in half. It makes the boiling time a lot less, so they'll cook faster.
And then once you're ready with the potatoes, you dump them right into the water and give them a stir. And while the potatoes are getting ready, you're gonna get what we call your dredge ready. So we're gonna start with 2 eggs, and we're gonna whisk those in the bowl.
Super important step not to forget is to make sure you put a little bit of milk in this mixture. It's gonna help with the coating of the breading. It's roughly 2 tablespoons, I think, if you were to measure it. Next thing I do is trim the fat off the pork chops. You don't have to do this because they're so thin. These are about a 1/4 inch thick. So if you like the fat on there, you can certainly keep it on there, but I like to trim all the fat off my meat before I cook it. I do recommend kitchen scissors, however a knife would be fine too, but kitchen scissors make things move a lot faster. So then after you trim the fat, you're gonna wanna get your flour ready with all of your seasonings. So you're gonna add the garlic salt.
This is pretty much just to taste. There's no really measuring of any kind happening at this step.
You'll wanna add your pepper in, and then your seasonal. Again, this is to your personal preference. If you want to add more or less different seasonings, it's all just whatever you have a taste for. You'll mix that together. Next, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you are getting oil in your cast iron skillet so you can heat it up. You'll want to make sure there's a nice even layer on the bottom of it, and you'll heat that up on high medium heat until a little bit of smoke starts to rise. That's how you know that it's ready to drop the pork chops. So the next step, you're gonna wanna make sure you get a nice light coat of the flour mixture, and then you're going to dip in the egg, back into the flour, and then you're gonna do one more dip into the egg mixture, and then your last dip into the flour.
We find that putting a light coat first before the egg helps seal in that flour and make it a little extra crispy when they do come out of the pan.
I do recommend too having that prep station over there that you see on a baking sheet. Just throw a piece of tin foil over it. The reason being is you want all the chops to be coated before you actually drop them, because these are super quick cook time. So you want to make sure that you're not cooking them too soon and having them sit and get cold. So make sure that you're prepping all of them first, and then you'll move on to cooking them.
And then once your cast iron is hot and ready and all your pork chops have been covered, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop them into the pan.
You should get a nice sizzle because the oil will be to temperature. Because these pork chops are so thin, They're only gonna take about 1 to 2 minutes on each side. Obviously, if your pork chops are thicker, then you'll wanna increase the time on that, but I use the 1/4 inch thick because they're a lot quicker to cook, especially for a weeknight meal.
And once the pork chops are cooking, when the potatoes are ready, we strain them, we dump them just to get them out of water and get them back into the pot. And then when it's flip time, go ahead and flip the pork chops over. Now you're looking for a nice even coat here, a nice golden brown. Some spots might be a little bit darker on them.
Which is totally fine. You definitely want to see that nice coating over them. For the potatoes, you'll definitely want to heat up your milk first. It's just a little tip in the kitchen to make the potatoes fluffier. And then the internal temperature of the pork chop should be at least 145. If it's higher, that's completely fine. Having a meat thermometer on hand is super helpful just to make sure that your meat is cooked thoroughly through. Once they're at temperature, I have a plate with tin foil to keep them warm, so you'll just pop them right on the plate and cover them with foil until all of them are done cooking.
And then when the milk is done getting warmed up, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna pour that into your potatoes to start mashing. We put some butter in there.
Usually about a 1/4 stick. I mean, like I said, we're only making 6 potatoes here, so you would adjust that. If you have a whole bag, you probably want a 1/2 stick of butter. I usually slice it into smaller pieces so it melts faster. And then you'll want to pour your milk. And this is something that you need to eyeball. You don't want them too soupy. So you'll just want to kind of eyeball just to make sure it's got enough moisture to mash. And you're going to add just a little bit of salt to taste, a little bit of pepper to taste. And then you're gonna go ahead and mash them up.
And once it's all done and ready, it is plated and ready to eat. So after everything, this is the finished plate. I'm gonna pop all the macros up right here next to me while I go in and take this first bite. And I'm telling you guys, this pork chop, it's absolute perfection. So that's it. Again, this is a great meal prep option, whether it's for lunches or dinners. They reheat really nice with a mashed potato and some corn and peas on the side. You can do any veggie on the side that you want. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss another video like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Later.